Welcome back. Now let's get the show started. We'll be looking at this season, this Christmas season, which means celebration, fun, excitement, and a lot of people will be traveling this season. Christmas fever is on. Rush here, shopping, traffic build-up, and not forgetting that when a lot of people are traveling, there will tend to be accidents. And of course, there are some people, like Patrick said earlier, who are planning nothing but evil towards you who are going about your normal business. So as part of preparations for this year's season, the Federal Road Safety Corps is determined to ensure crash-free celebrations throughout the season of Christmas and New Year. So it has urged motorists to drive carefully. And it says that speed limiting devices which would check speeding and accident will be enforced strictly as from February the 1st. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Oyeyemi Boboye, who is the Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps. Good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Thank you for coming. And next to him is a sustainable transportation consultant, Mr. Kade Ofwefa.
Good morning.
Morning. And on Patrick's side is
Patrick. Two Patricks together.
yes, Mr. Patrick Adenusi of Safety Beyond Borders. Thank you very much for joining us. So we have the two Patricks on the same side.
Yes, yes.
Now, let me start with you, sir. Every year, the country harps on this season. And it seems that more people travel during this season than other times in the year. From your statistics, are there more accidents at this time of the year than other times?
Well, the answer is, if you are looking at the Ember months, Ember is September, October, November, December. Mm-hmm. From September, you observe increased vehicular density. But when you are looking at the end of the year starts from December to about January 15. From the Ember months, there is increase a little bit. But once we get towards the end of the year like this, there is a drop because the level of consciousness increases. Mm-hmm. There's more awareness, there's more campaigns, even though there's what you observe is increase in vehicular density, so you can't go at that same speed again. And what we also observe is more of private crashes than the commercial ones. So the awareness is there during this period, and the crash is not as high except when you have some major problems. And the government has strived again to be able to fix some of the critical corridors which is still going on, like Lagos Ibadan now. You can see the rehabilitation going on. But generally and globally, you witness increase in vehicular density. And why do we have more private vehicles being involved in crashes during this period? Is because many of them are not used to highway driving, interstate. They are used to home, children drop, office, home, party. That's city, okay, correct word, city. After the city, so you expose him to Lagos Ibadan, fatigue setting after 20-30 minutes consistent driving. So sometimes they veer off. And some of them hire drivers again who are not even familiar with that corridor. That is the problem. But I believe with the level of awareness, the campaigns, and the support we've been getting, I've really assured Nigerians and the government support. I think this year will be a bit better. I'm very optimistic by the grace of God.
Yeah, I think perhaps also that when it gets to the end of the year, as it were, everybody wants to be able to see next year, So it's
like a prayer, but not more.
So it's like, like be cautious. I want to see next year. When you talk about sustainable
transportation,
sustainable, what does that mean?
See, we're talking of putting up a transport system that meets the needs of today and does not impinge on the needs of tomorrow. That is a system that you can trust, a system that is reliable, a system that takes into account that there will be mistakes and has accounted for that mistake. Human beings will fail 5%. 95 times they will be correct. 5 times that they will fail. The transport system must build that 5% error into it, that even if that human being fails, he should not be injured.
So how does that work out in practice?
Now, there are three major factors when you think of when you talk transportation with relation to crashes. The road user, driver, pedestrians, me, yourself. Then you have the roads. The road is critical in design.
Yes.
Then you have the vehicle. You just mentioned speed limiter. You now see that they now develop vehicles that even when you have accident at certain speed, you are still protected. So even if you speed, you are drunk, and you have an accident, the responsibility of the car designer is to make sure under those conditions you still don't get injured. Now, the responsibility of the road designer is to make sure the factors, the furnitures, all the things that needed to be on the road, that even when you have a crash, due to your own error, does not result into fatality. Now, you now go beyond that. You now talk of pollution control, the emissions and all those. That is a big issue, but I just speak from the point of crashes. Now, you build roads these days, you don't see signages.
True.
You build roads, you don't see traffic signal lights.
True.
So you are calling for accidents. Because those are the calming devices. Just like a speed limiting device is one, those bumps. Okay, no, for example, in Lagos, because of the huge investment in infrastructure, in building roads, Lagosians are now calling on government. Our kids are dying. Okadas are killing our people. Vehicles are speeding on our road. Before, they don't speed. When the roads get better, they speed. So you have to put calming device. You could put speed humps, if that is all you could do. But more importantly, you can put road, what do you call it?
Speed limit signs.
Speed limit signs, or put traffic signal lights. So he knows he cannot speed beyond 40 kilometers per hour. He will get stopped. So those are what you call sustainable traffic, not just building roads, just people moving. And
But
all
you see,
those
what you say is so all encompassing.
Yeah.
You know,
Totality.
it's totality, yes. So I mean, the core can take up some of it, but some of it obviously is for government, that they are the ones who build the roads
You
and
said
so
it.
on. You know, so
You have answered it yourself.
So-
Yeah, because it's classified under infrastructure.
yes,
You don't expect me now to provide traffic lights,
yes.
or traffic monitors, speed cameras. Those are the infrastructures that must be provided to enhance safety. You've said it. Those are
Which
the
you then
things.
enforce.
Yes. For example, let me just give you a small case. The state of New York, they generated in 2014 $500 million just on traffic lights violation. So just one offense because of the cameras that picks the traffic light violators.
I've experienced it firsthand.
Oh, you've been arrested?
Not me, my friend.
Very good.
You
So
just see the thing snap.
just one case.
And
I'm
before
sure
you go-
Patrick will
yes.
talk much on that. But that is just one case. So if the appropriate infrastructure is provided, like Opefa mentioned something, if the vehicles are being designed now to make it more safety friendly,
Yes, yes.
roads are being designed. So if the two matches each other,
other.
we are talking about an enduring safe road
Yes,
culture.
Yeah.
you see the
That's
thing.
what
Sustainable.
It's
Yes,
sustainable.
sustainable. That is it.
Yeah.
That is the global trend now.
Yes.
The vehicles are designed to be friendly, to be much safer. The roads are also designed. Okay, go back to 1978 when Lagos Ibadan was commissioned.
Yes,
The dividers were steel. They were not concrete.
It's true.
But Nigeria started removing them.
for spoon making.
Yes, to be melted, to be used for all sorts of things. At the end of the day, government had to put concrete, which is not safety friendly.
In fact, I think we should campaign against that.